Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to auditing AUE 1501. Today we're talking about learning unit 2, which is corporate governance. So guys, please take this if you intend on pursuing the CA profession or to be something in accounting, please take this unit very seriously and make sure that you grasp all the concepts that they're going to be talking about on this learning unit. Remember, if you don't have the textbook, I'm using the study guide from Unisa. You can find it on Telegram, on the Telegram groups, or as part of your learning material. I'm not going to post the exact pages and page numbers of where I'm going to be going through from, but I'm just working from the same study guide for copyright purposes. So you just have to understand something regarding corporate governance. So those two words brought together, corporate governance. So we have cooperation and we have governing. So corporate governance simply means they're trying to get an understanding of how a corporation or how a business is governed, right? How a business is run in its simplicity. So your study guide is going to have a bunch of YouTube links, which are also very important, which you have to also understand why and what is the ethos and what is the background behind the whole King 4 report that they have there. So corporate governance is mainly talking about how is the company or how is the business that you're going to be leading, how is it being run? Is it going to be run according to the principles which promote a lot of things, or is it going to be there for its own benefit? So guys, you have to also understand that whenever there's a profit motive, it creates a very complex situation, because when there's a profit motive, people tend to do whatever they can in the name of making a profit. And according to the King's report, we're just now trying to level the playing field to say, in as much as you're going to be pursuing profit, also do things that are also going to be benefiting the society that you find yourself in and the environment that your company is going to be operating in. So there is a diagram or an organogram that is found, I think, on page 25 of the 2021 copy, or on whatever page that you're going to find it as per the study guide that you're going to be using. So in this diagram, they talk about a lot of steps that I'm going to go with just 1 to 7. I'm just going to go 1 to 7 with you, so that at least if I give you a brief understanding of those steps, then you go and you read that book. Remember, these videos are not like a substitute to your study guide. You still have to go through your study guide. You still have to go through your learning material, go through the videos, but I'm just trying to enhance, like just to give you an extra help so that you understand certain complexities that might be in your study guide. So the first point of the organogram or the diagram is talking about ethical leadership. So the leadership that you're going to appoint in your company, or the people who are going to be running the business, they have to be at least ethical. So people, when you're talking about ethics, we're talking about things to do with responsibility. We talk about things to do with accountability. We talk about things to do with fairness. There also has to be transparency. There has to be integrity, and there has to be competence. So competence is the ability of those people who are in power to do the job that is required of them. Integrity, we're dealing with honesty. Transparency, we have to know what is happening. Is the business really making a loss? Is the business really making a profit? Is it displayed for everyone to see? Is it transparent, or are there things that are being hidden? Is the business also operating fairly? That's where fairness comes to play. Accountability, is there full accountability? Because with accountability, you just have to understand that it's not like counting of numbers or accounting. Accountability is that sense of, okay, this director took this decision, or this person took this decision, or whoever took a decision, or the company can properly account that, okay, we used such and such resources in such and such a manner, and to get XYZ results. Responsibility, you have to be responsible in how you're going to be leading your entity. So with corporate, with the King 4 report, we're also looking at the company integral part of society. So you're not only looking at the company on its own, you're also looking at the company as part of, let's say, a community that they operate in. For instance, you can have a mining company. So before you just go digging and looking for a material and minerals, you have to also take into consideration the environment or the people who stay around that mine, and the damage that you're going to be doing to the environment, and all those things, even the safety measures. So it's the company, integral part of society. Then there's corporate citizenship. Corporate citizenship, it's just from your understanding of citizenship. From citizenship, there are rights of the citizens, and there are also obligations of any citizen of any country. In the same way, we also have the same when it comes to corporations. They are businesses, they have a right to operate in a certain way. They have a right probably to open from a certain time up to a certain time. They have a right probably to make a certain amount of decibels in noise and stuff. It's their right because of the nature of the business that they are as a corporation. And there are also obligations such as taxation. They also are obliged to also abide by the laws of the republic. They also are obliged to also do things being mindful of the generation that is to come. So we also go to the fourth bulletin, which talks about sustainable development. So with sustainable development, we have to make sure that there is inclusivity, where people understand that the development that is going to be happening in the business, or the growth that is going to be happening, can be sustained through in the long term. It's not only a short-term ideology. What I mean is, being sustainable simply means that the things that you're going to be doing, can you be doing the same thing probably in the next 10, 20 years? And if not, you also have to provide reasons why. You also have to also do things which are innovative, which are fair, which also call for social transformation. Then we talk about stakeholder inclusivity. So with stakeholder inclusivity, we're talking about what is in the interest of the company, what are the best interests of the company for the long term. What are the best interests of the company for the long term? Are we still going to have the company in the next 100 years? Are we still going to have the company in the next 10 years? So that is when you now have to involve everyone. So if you're just going to be focusing internally on your managers, directors, and you ignore the community might also ignore you, which will have a very long-term effect on the business that you are operating. We also have integrated thinking, right? So meaning when you're making your decision making, you also have to also try to include as most opinion or ideologies around the same subject as possible, so that you come up with the best decision making. Integrated reporting, that is your financial accounting and stuff, abiding to SAICA and the rules that are provided for. So that is really it about corporate leadership. We need ethical. It needs to be, the leadership has to be ethical. After that, you have to consider the company as a part of a society. After considering them as a part of a society, remember that they are also a citizen in that society. And they also have to come up with policies and missions and visions in place which seek to provide sustainable development. After providing sustainable development, include all your stakeholders. After including the stakeholders, also provide integrated thinking, and as well as integrated reporting, which goes from the top all the way, and information has to filter down to the people who are of interest to the business. So there's also activities on your study guide that you also have to focus on. There are links on that same chapter that you also have to study on and focus on. But please make sure that you thoroughly understand how an organization is run, which is corporate governance. So most corporations are going to be governed by the King 4 report. Make sure that you understand the King 4